Hello, and welcome to my haunted castle. I am your host, Count Wittlesbach, and this is I Gotcha! Good evening, and welcome to my home. Tonight we have a special guest, all the way from distant land of Castlevania. Let's give a warm welcome to Dracula's son, Alucard. Alucard, I've been a fan of yours for quite some time, following your adventures across games and anime. And as a fan of classic horror, I also know that your name was first used by your father in the 1943 film Son of Dracula, starring Lon Chaney Jr. Well, I'm honored by your devotion, and I hope you have a career just as long and rewarding. So tell me, what brings you here today? My wings. I turned into a bat and flew here. Of course, but why did you decide to visit me? So you would stop nagging me, of course. You're making me sound like Svengoolie. But seriously, I came here because this is my first chance to appear in a gacha video. And I thought your fans should have at least one chance to see what a well-dressed vampire could look like. You're not even a real vampire. Well, I'm half vampire. So, what's the video for tonight? Of course, tonight's video features the legendary Gil Man, the creature from the Black Lagoon. He appeared in 3 feature films from Universal back in the 1950s. The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, and The Creature Walks Among Us. Right. But sadly, after that his career stalled, and for several decades he only made cameo appearances. Though several projects featuring him were planned, they all seemed to fall through. He did inspire the movie The Shape of Water. Right, but the creature in that movie came from the ocean. But tonight, the creature returns to a starring role as a new character, Dr. Gil. Just a few weeks ago, that young man was our guest, Johnny Romero, a self-confessed zombie who has eaten more than a few people in his day. The young lady in the video is Fiona Grill, and she will be with us also. But first, let's talk to Johnny about just what led up to that moment that you just saw. That night was a real low point for me. I had just woke up in a coffin and had to dig my way out of grave. I was extremely hungry, angry, and alone. Also, it's hard to think when your brain is dead. I never asked to be a zombie. This just happened to me. I'm as much a victim here as the people I attacked. Boo! 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 Yeah, we'll talk about that. Our guest today is a zombie, and we all know what that means. Boo! But not so fast. He says it's not his fault. He never asked to be a zombie. Honestly, who would? And it's hard to argue with that point, since we still don't know what caused this zombie apocalypse to start in the first place. So let's step back a little and bring out our first guest to talk about what's really going on. Boo! Boo! Come on now, let's hear him out. First of all, Johnny, is there anything you want the audience to know about yourself before they judge you? Well, yeah, a couple of things. Okay, feel free to say what's on your mind. My name is Johnny Romero. I'm a veteran. I fought for this country in Afghanistan. I had a family, a wife and 3 kids. I had a job. I went to church. I'm not a racist or a wife beater. I don't care if you're gay or whatever. I try to live and let live. Second, I don't like you calling this a zombie apocalypse. It's not an apocalypse. It's a bad situation, but people are coping. Civilization is going to recover. Calling it an apocalypse makes it sound a lot worse than it is. And calling it a zombie apocalypse tells everyone it's our fault. And you don't feel like it is your fault. No, how could it be? I didn't ask to be a zombie. I don't know how I became a zombie. I couldn't do this if I tried. But you did eat some people. Right, and that's not my fault either. So you have no ownership at all in this. The best scientists in the world don't know what caused this. I sold carpet for a living. What do you want from me? I am so glad you asked. What I want, and what I think this audience wants as well, is for you to show some remorse for what you did, even if you weren't in control of yourself at the time. Yay! We want you to stop playing the victim, to acknowledge the hurt you've caused to others, and to take some kind of steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. And I'm going to surprise you. I agree that we shouldn't be calling this a zombie apocalypse, because the word zombie means slave. And it implies that there is some other intelligence that has animated and taken control of you. Calling you a zombie lets you off the hook. But there isn't any voodoo priest or necromancer to be seen. You're a ghoul. Dr. Gil, I'm really sorry about what I did, and I have taken steps to change myself. I am not the rampaging hungry monster you showed in that clip. I am calmly sitting here talking to you. I have my eating under control. I am avoiding triggers. I don't want to hurt anyone like that ever again. And the whole reason I'm here today is that I know I need help to keep making things better. Well, we're going to talk about that together. But first, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it still has 2 sides. So now let's meet our next guest, Miss Fiona Grill, who you saw in the opening clip, just barely escaping from the zombie who killed 4 of her closest friends. Let's see if we can bring these 2 together. Miss Grill, I'm so glad to have you on the show. How have you been coping? It's been difficult, I'm sure. Miss Grill, can you tell the audience about what happened to you and your friends on the night of the living dead? It was a normal night. We were just hanging out like every weekend, and I was the designated driver like every weekend. We went to the graveyard because it's quiet and no one bothered us. No one could see you, you mean? What? I know what your friends were doing up there. Why do you think they needed a designated driver? Oh my gosh. If they'd been somewhere with adult supervision, they might still be alive today. Now, you just hold on right there. I am not about to let you blame the victims in this. They put themselves in danger. Well, let's just bring the other victims out here and see what they have to say about that. Yeah, let's do that. What? Let's welcome Fiona's friends to the stage. Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and Velma. Oh my God! Uh-oh. You gonna blame this on me? Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, my wife is gonna talk to you about some ways to keep your youthful looks even if you do get turned into a ghoul.